Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Well, this is going to be the college edition. Because guess what? Guess who's home? So, just have a few questions. Just wanted to do like a little uh, Q&A about how college going. Just we asking each other questions. So, you want to start off or me, or do you want to go back and forth? You ask
You,
one, I ask one,
you
or
can go first.
okay. What is it like being a college student?
So far, it's good. The only trouble that could happen is waking up early if you have 8 a.m. classes. Uh, Time management really isn't a problem. You just have to time things correctly. So if you want to go eat or you want to go take a nap, you got to time it between classes. I don't recommend it doing in the first or second week because you're still getting used to the whole thing.
How are you coping with it?
I'm good. I really didn't start college till July 10th because I had to go for a band camp. And even during that, I still had to do classes. Well, just two classes, but still I had to do it. So that was somewhat of getting into the whole routine of learning, okay, you have practice and you have class. So it was somewhat teaching me of how to cope with it.
So, and I know this is gonna sound like a crazy question, but what's the biggest difference between high school and college? Because in high school you were busy a lot too. I mean, you were in robotics, uh, cheerleader, band, drum major, honor society, national honor society, and you had to learn how to balance all of those. So how is balancing all of those? I mean, right there, that's about what, five activities, and we're not even,
7 to
yeah,
8.
we're not even counting all the ones, including all the ones that you had. You tutor people sometime. So all of that versus being in band and college, how's it different?
So it's different because with all those things that I did in high school, it took little amount of time. It didn't take that much. And plus, yes, I was doing some college classes in high school, but those weren't full blown college classes. They say it's different that if you take dual credit or AP classes, those aren't the same as the actual college classes that you're going to take in college. And I
Okay.
can see it because now you're actually spending more time in the class. You got to keep yourself up, got to have your mind running with all these notes and lessons. So I don't recommend doing a lot of activities at once when it comes to college now because band is already taking up most of my night. And by most, I mean my classes could end around 4:50 and I don't get out of band practice till probably 10:30 at night. So one thing at a time is good for me now.
So speaking of band, you go to that what PV?
You know,
So how are you adjusting to band life?
the band life is different than what I was taught in high school because there's so many different styles of marching. In high school, it was more of a core style, which is based off of military, but with the band, but with the marching storm, we're more of a traditional show band type of band. So it's no longer landing on your heels. It's more you have to keep 90s, got a mean mug, got to do a lot of things. High school, we didn't have a dance break. And here we have dance breaks. And it's going to wear you out for a while.
Okay. What do you, I know you like dancing. So what was your favorite part about now incorporating dancing into band?
My favorite part about it,
Mm-hmm.
I would say either I would go to the first performance, which was National Battle of the Bands in Houston, or maybe the State Fair Classics this year.
Why those two?
Those two, I know for the National Battle of the Bands, that's where I created my first dance. And
What?
and I put and I was able to put that into the dance routine. And for State Fair Classics, it felt more thriving because there was more people. Not saying that there wasn't people at the Battle of the Bands, but with State Fair Classics, I was back home and I was in front of friends, family, a lot of people, especially alumni, because they come to see things as well. It's not just family.
Your uncle and your papa Benny, we were all there at the uh, Prairie View versus Grambling State Classic. So, how did it feel to see part of the dance routine that you incorporated on the field acted out live?
It felt good knowing that I accomplished something in the band. I'm just not there playing an instrument. I actually put my own thoughts into it.
As a freshman, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how did it feel for the first time? I know that when you were in high school, you were a part of uh, T-ball downtown. Not your last year, now I don't think your first year, but you did have the opportunity to work with T-ball and work with Skylar, and is that her name?
Yes.
Who now has gone on to do a lot of things um, nationally with Jennifer Hudson playing Aretha Franklin and stuff. So you got the opportunity to perform in front of crowds before, but I think by far this was your biggest crowd, right?
Yes.
How did you feel?
I felt like T Ball did prepare me because T Ball has about a good 600, 800 audience for 2 nights, 3 performances. So it prepared me for what was to come when it came to going to basically an HBCU and SWAC.
Do you feel like a lot of people support HBCUs, especially the band?
Now, with HBCUs, I feel like there's a lot of people that do represent and support their schools. As for the band, I would say majority of the bands they have a lot of funding, but for the marching storm at PV, our funding keeps getting cut over and over. So we're going based off of pennies and dimes.
So, in other words, if you can help your HBCUs and as their academics, football team, and their band, please do so. So alumni, give back. Give back. I know right now a lot of things count off the subject. A lot of people have been talking about Deion Sanders and leave it. I honestly, I'm happy for him. I understand why he did it. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for those who have been working with him. But I also see a lot of frustration. But you know what? This is giving us the opportunity to give back. So, I'm not going to ask you how you feel about that because I know that's a big theme right now. I've been asking a lot of questions. Do you have a question for me?
I got a few.
Okay.
So, how does it feel being an empty nester now?
Girl, I cried my first couple of days. Not because it was part of um, joy because you were gone, and I'm so excited to see you just do what I know that God has created you for. Uh, but it was also a little fear, and I know that God and fear does not go together. But it's just the idea I sent my baby out into that world, and just wanting to know that what I've taught you at home, what I tried to teach you at home, and try to keep you in church, whether or not now will you be able to stand with your foot started in the gospel when all the temptations are coming your way. Uh, so empty nester took a moment because I had to get over that hump, you know. So at first it was a constant, as my family would laugh and say, "You were down there every weekend, so how you miss her?" I did, and maybe that's why. But as time grew and the weeks went by and the months went by, I began to understand that this is your season. And it had to come about for you to be great and accomplish what God wanted you to accomplish. So I had to learn how to readjust being a mother to being an empty nester. And it took a moment, but I'm there. I'm there.
Okay. Uh, so what changes have been made to your daily routine now that I'm no longer part of it?
Ooh, no more taxi driving to to band practice, cheerleading practice, to robotics practice. No more driving way across town for National Honor Society. No more, which I really kind of miss. No more attending games and watching you cheer or play a band or sing in a choir. A lot of pride and joy was being able to see you sing at your high school graduation and play and everything. So I don't want to say, "Ooh, yay!" But baby, I got to rest. I got to rest a little bit.
Okay. Um, so how does it feel knowing that your only child is now in college and doing big things?
It's well, first of all, let me say it's no shock to me that you're doing great things. uh, Bigger, I believe, as time go by, you do bigger and more better things. Um, but it's no shock. You have always been the type of young lady that when you put your mind to something, you're going to do it, whether that was with my wishes, against my wishes. But for the most part, uh, I I I just pray that you gotta realize God just showed me when you were before you were even born. So I just held on to His promises. The hardest thing now is just learning how to parent an adult child, and allowing you to live your dreams without me trying to incorporate what I think so that it used to be when you were a kid, I used to come home with a dress and you're like, yay, I got a dress. And as you got older, it was like, yeah, I got a dress. And then it became, I don't like that dress. And it's now I found myself looking at that now is that in order for you to accomplish big things, I gotta let go of that dress. I gotta let go and allow you to put on the dress that fit you and that's gonna work good in your life, and just continue to pray that it's gonna stay within the kingdom, God's kingdom, and His work for you here for His kingdom. So just watching you do that has really blessed me to see that one, God is faithful, and two, if I stay out the way, you will be the great Sophie that I know you're going to be. Okay, so let me ask you a question. What's your hardest subject? First, what's your major?
I am a music performance major with a concentration in clarinet.
Okay, and what's your hardest subject, or what has been the hardest thing for you to accomplish?
I would say the hardest thing for me to accomplish was probably my sight singing and ear training class. Because with that class, not only are you listening to music, you have to listen to the rhythm, what notes you have to hear, and then you're training your ears to dictate, okay, is this a major, a minor, is this a 16th, 18th note, 32nd note. You have to memorize all of that, and it will kind of mess up your head a lot, because then you're gonna probably break down from thinking so much that you're now getting headaches and you're no longer thinking straight. So you gotta I take what I call mental naps between classes so I can prepare myself for the next class. Sleep on what I've learned, or to just calm everything in order to keep on learning and not break down.
Can I tell you all? This is odd for me because for her to say, and maybe it's because it's on a different level. Because child, I tell you all, when I'm singing at home before she went to college, she didn't have no problem saying, "Mom, that's the wrong note. You flat. Mama, you off key. Can you hear me now?" And she's like, so is it because it's on a different level or because you're really grasping the art of listening and hearing now?
It's it's more of now that first it was going based off of ear, no teaching, no learning. Now it's now I'm getting deeper into the subject and more into the topic. It's now more there's more requirements to it. It's no longer just putting your ear up and saying, "Okay, can you hear?" It's now, "Okay, put your ear up. You gotta listen. You gotta deep think, do deep thinking on it because it's not just da 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 da. It's more da 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 da. You gotta hear everything. You gotta silence yourself. You can't have music in one ear or a podcast in this ear and be like, okay, You can't just do that anymore. You really gotta pay attention. You really gotta pay attention to it.
Look in the camera and say, "What? Not anymore." Let me ask, what do you plan on doing with your degree?
So I am majoring in music and I'm gonna do a minor in psychology. So hopefully I could advance with the psychology and with the degree in that. I I do somewhat plan on owning my own business in the music industry. Yes, everybody keeps saying, "Hey, you don't need a degree for that. You can just go in and make money." You can go in and make money, but will you go in making money knowing the business yourself? Will you go in making the same type of money that the other artists made with a degree? And knowing not just, okay, you got to perform at Toronto, you got to perform at Paris. No, you're now knowing behind the scenes. You can teach people under you. Like, I think Beyonce has a scholarship or something, but does she teach them the way of the music industry?
That's what you want to do.
Yes. But with the psychology degree, I also somewhat plan on doing like music therapy.
Oh, okay.
So with the music therapy, of course I will talk to my customer, client, and every now and then give give them like a nice soothing song depending on how they feel. So with rage, some people might go against this. With rage, put on some heavy metal, something that goes with their emotion, and hopefully with that it could help them calm them down.
That's biblical. When Saul was frustrated, David came in and played that harp for him. When that spirit came upon him, David came and played that harp. So God give us, so music therapy is a real thing. It's a gift from God. I know didn't want her to do music, but God told me to be quiet. He put that on her. So I pray that whatever you do, that one, you keep God first and you keep listening to God and not man, and that you are succeeding. Because I love that you said that, yeah, you can just walk in there and do it, but will you walk in there and do it right, and will it benefit God's kingdom? So you're talking about healing people with music, and it's beautiful because God sings over us. The Bible tells us that we are told to make a joyful noise unto the Lord. So I really love the ideal that you're telling me now that music therapy is the way you want to go. Roommate. Let's talk about roommate and dorm situation. So, how many roommates do you have?
I have one roommate right now.
What's the best thing about having a dorm mate?
Mm, I can't answer that now because I haven't found it that much.
Do you all get along for the most part?
For the most part,
Okay. What is one thing you would like to change about your dorm?
I would want to change how the spacing of the rooms and an actual kitchen. The common area should have a kitchen, not just a TV and a vending machine. It needs a kitchen.
So look, you're in the freshman.
I'm in the freshman dorm.
Freshman dorm at PV, and with PV, they supply the microwave in a one small college refrigerator. Correct?
Yes.
That the students have to share, and there's no stove in the common area for the freshmen. So you're talking to someone who like to cook and like to go in there and fry her own hot wings and stuff like that, and her hot water cornbread. So she's not able to do that, which means you all rely heavily on
noodles. We call it the MSC. I eat noodles sometimes.
Sometimes, y'all.
We have Chick-fil-A and some taco place.
And what else you do? Tell the people the truth.
There's also Uber Eats, DoorDash.
See, these kids nowadays don't want to live
Domino's.
like, yeah. So that's the one thing you would really change about it. What's the hardest thing about living in a dorm with someone that practically they just put you together with?
I would want to go with whenever they have visitors, because I don't have visitors. My roommate does. So whenever she has people coming over, it's somewhat of a bother because I might be trying to sleep or study for a test or a class, and next door, not even next door,
a few steps away,
you hear this yelling, all this laughing.
College life.
Basically, yeah, the college life.
College life, and it's understandable. So let me ask you, with that, have you found a remedy to how to adjust with that? To like, do you find yourself going to the study lounge? What do you all call
it? In our buildings, it's called common areas.
That makes sense. So, do you find yourself going more to the common areas?
I don't go to the common areas. For me, I would turn my TV up or put my headphones in and stay on my side of the room, because my thought process is that's your guess. They are on your side. I have nobody coming for me. One, because I am.
I do.
I'm talking about college
students. Let's talk about this, because we go to PV. You go to PV. I say we. You go to PV, and PV is known for a college party. Has it lived up to that?
It actually hasn't. So yes, there are parties, but people exaggerate. There's parties every single day, every weekend. That is not true. For everyone that says it's a party school, it is not a party school.
Are they strict, the teachers?
That depends on what professor you have.
Okay.
Every professor has their own curriculum and their own way of teaching. So if I was to compare it, my piano teacher, I am not throwing names, but my piano teacher, when she thinks you're really into it, she will go on and on, fuss at you for making a small mistake, because she knows that you can do better. Whereas my world civilizations teacher, he's more of okay, I'm gonna interact with you, interact with the whole class so we can get this down. So it's more of how your teacher is and their personality in teaching. Not is every teacher strict or are they enjoyable. It's just learn your teacher.
Okay. Any questions about for me?
Mm, let's see. No, I really don't.
Okay. How does it feel going from city to, oh my gosh, you gotta probably drive 15 minutes, 10 minutes to get to the McDonald's when at home you just drive a block up and there's a McDonald's.
I would say it's a bit more enjoyable living in a I want to say it's a country because it kind of is. From city to country, it's you're all buildings. You see the skyline, everything. To now, it's all nature. You can breathe in and breathe out without thinking of a truck passing by.
I'm smiling and I'm laughing because I remember there was a time I mean, I knew you, I know you liked the city because I mean, the country because we went home and we're from country in Oklahoma and she liked going home. She liked, mainly because of horseback riding. But, but baby, bugs.
The only bugs that you will come across there is a billion gnats, some flies, ladybugs, dragonflies. Thank goodness it's not horseflies.
So sum up to me so we can come to the close. So sum up your first semester because this is her first semester, freshman year at PV, away from home. The only child for me. So oh, so sum up to me your first semester.
To sum it up, I would say I had to keep my mind right because if I ever lost it, I would have been off track. Uh, there were some challenges adjusting to not only daylight savings, but adjusting to the new faces, to people's lifestyle. Then it's not just a small band anymore. It's a big band. It's not just a small school full of high schoolers that you see for 4 years straight now. It is people that probably been there since 2016.
No, hope not.
There's some people that have been there.
Okay, hey, I'm not judging. Get that no, let me be very real. Get that degree. Get that degree, even if it does take you 6, 7, 8 years.
And sometimes you might have grown close to a senior your first semester and they just graduate because our seniors graduated yesterday. And it was hard seeing like my section leader, my drum major, they graduated. My RA, she graduated with her master's. It was hard to see them graduate because you grow so close to them because you spent your summer with them. They got on to you about a lot of things. So seeing them graduate is like, oh wow, it's real life.
Does it give you hope? Because looking at them, in other words, they help you mature you because I see the difference in only the short 6 months that when we drop you off, well, when I dropped you off in college back in July versus now you're coming home on your own. And I see the maturity level in actually just being able to be more vocal about what you want for your life, uh, and not what everyone else think they should do. So it's hard, but because they help to mature you. But does it also give you that thing like, they, whether the 4 years, the 6 years, or whatever years they got, and they did it, so that leaves me hope also.
It does give you hope because nowadays you don't see a lot of people. Well, you don't see a lot of people our color graduating a lot, and it kind of breaks down generation by generation. Like, hey, probably college is not for me. Maybe I should just go into the workforce. That's not. Yes, college is not for everyone, but there's
I
also
agree.
called community college, trading school, online classes. So seeing them graduate gives hope that, hey, that'll be me one day. And I told my section leader this yesterday, and a lot of people agreed to it. I said, I'm not going to say a name. In the words of my section leader, know your worth and add tax. Make the world regret underestimating a black woman's power. And I'm going to keep saying that because they don't have a lot of black women graduating. But I'm a graduate. Everybody, all the black women that graduated yesterday graduated. Masters, bachelors, doctorates, they graduated. People that didn't go to school for a long time, they went back with kids and everything. They still went back and graduated. So I'm gonna keep going by that.
I love that. And thank you, section leader. Thank you. And thank you all who helped sewn into her first freshman year. There was some good, there was some bad. But I can't even really say at the moment to me, as your mom, it was bad things. But I don't look at them as bad things anymore because they taught you how to persevere. You know, they taught you how to stand up for yourself. It they those moments taught you that you matter, your voice matter, and learn how to fight to bombard somebody's office and say, look, this is not so. So it was a training opportunity for you. So can I just tell you one, thank you for taking the time out to do this. It's after church Sunday, and I know she was tired and sleepy. Uh, and to being vulnerable for this, um, I thank you. I thank you for just being you and allowing me to see. I'm choosing my words carefully because the best in you cannot. Well, maybe I can say the best in you for this season because I know in the next season you're going to grow some more, and that's going to elevate who you are even more so. So now that the first year semester is over with, what are you looking forward to your next year, your next semester, which will complete out your first year?
Well, next semester I will actually be a sophomore, seeing how I got more credits now. But what I'm looking forward to is to continue growing because college did uh, help me mature even more. Uh, and that's what college might do to you. It might help you mature even more, help you find your voice. It will get you a bit more cleaner.
Wait a minute, you all. Some of the things I was forcing her to do at home, she does it at school automatically. Why can't I get that child that clean then? Now then, I have two quick questions, and I know were you finished with that comment?
Yes.
Two quick questions. I'm gonna combine them, and you can combine them too. Um, is it hard to has college strengthened your relationship with Christ? And is it hard to remain a believer at college? And feel free to just answer truthfully because hey, we're all growing. So answer truthfully.
So I have grown closer to Christ. No, I haven't went to the chapel on campus, but I have been watching services on YouTube. Um, and it's not hard to stay a believer in college. I say this to Mama a lot that after every band practice, before every game, the band will get together. We will pray out safe travels to those who live off campus, on campus, and they respect those who don't believe, but they still pray because we're a praying band. But it's not just the band that you have to pray with. You got to pray for yourself. You got to pray for not just the good grades, but your mentality. Because you are going to, not saying everybody will, but you will somebody on campus is probably going through something mentally. I've been through something mentally. Uh, the people that I was with over band camp, they went over something mentally. We all been through something, and I pray. I don't know what they do, but I pray. I do sleep, but I'm a sleep person. But yes, it does strengthen my relationship with God.
And so you're building your own relationship, and it's okay to rest. I believe when Elijah was depressed, tired because Jezebel had threatened him, he went away, and the first thing that God did was fed him and gave him rest. So you need that rest. I'm going to say this and piggyback, then we can close. Is that you asked me earlier about college? Um, Me, the hardest thing about it was when you came home uh, for Thanksgiving break and you showed me that footage in which you fell on the field when you were sick and just overheated, tired, exhausted. I guess I'm not sure. I don't want to put words out there about what happened, but I think that's when realization hit that uh, even though I trust God and I have always trusted Him with you, I had to lean on Him more because watching that video made me realize that only God kept you. Only God kept you, and I thank God that He did. But I even thank God for those students that I seen coming to your aid. You know, they stopped the whole performance and they didn't step over you. They didn't walk around you so they can finish their performance. I can honestly say at that moment watching that video, I was glad that you went to PV.
One thing about the marching storm, yes, I will have to admit, our campus does not like us. They might ask us to
You
perform.
feel like they don't.
It's actually a fact that they really don't like the
You
band.
feel like, because you can't speak for
I actually can because upperclassmen witnessed it, the band
everyone. Okay.
directors, they all witnessed it.
So what's the point?
They might not like us and might want us to just play because they want popularity for an event. But inside the band, you are truly a family. It's no joke at all. It is really a family. Upperclassmen might act like older brothers and sisters, or they could be that mom away from home. So they're gonna care for you. Yes, there's beef. It's beef everywhere. But when it comes to performances and actually spending time together, forced time together,
They force.
you're gonna learn to grow with each other.
You become a family. Well, I thank you. I don't know so much about everybody don't care about the band, and it may be true. I'm not there, uh, but I thank them. I thank them for what I saw, and I thank God that you're here. I thank Him that you're doing well and He's covering you. Um, we're filming this probably a week after three of the human jukebox um, bandmates were killed coming home.
A few days ago.
Yeah, just a few days ago. And so our prayers for their family, our prayers for each of these children driving up and down these streets, going to colleges, going back home, coming home to visit and going back. Um, And I just thank God. So, Father God, we just thank you. Thank you for the opportunity that to sit here as mother and daughter. Thank you for the first semester for all these freshmen and who successfully did it. And for those who found it challenging, dear Heavenly Father, I just ask you just to continue to be with them. Also to strengthen them that their worth is good and that you have plans for them also. Be with these children going back and forth to school and those who just graduated. Dear Heavenly Father, open up doors for them that they can only know that It was by you and through your spirit that they got these opportunity to get careers that they've been longing for. Dear Heavenly Father, I ask that each one of these children in school graduate successfully, but most importantly, have a relationship with you. Bless these parents and grandparents and all the supporters, cousins and nieces and nephews and aunties and uncles and friends and church member who was so sown into these children to get them here and through our college. In your son Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Anything?
You know.
Thank you all for watching. Have a blessed one.